नमस्कार। पिछले क्लास में हमने पढ़ा था फ्लूइड फ्लो के बेसिक्स के बारे में और टाइप्स ऑफ मैनोमीटर्स के बारे में। टुडे वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट दिस इज सेकंड लेक्चर, दैट इज वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर एंड बर्नौलीज थ्योरम। So at first Reynolds number. So this Reynolds number, ऑसबॉर्न रेनॉल्ड कौन थे? ऑसबॉर्न रेनॉल्ड एक साइंटिस्ट थे जिन्होंने 1883 में एक एक्सपेरिमेंट परफॉर्म किया और उस एक्सपेरिमेंट परफॉर्म करने के बाद एक आर्बिट्री नंबर दिया, दैट नंबर इज कॉल्ड एज रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर एंड द एक्सपेरिमेंट परफॉर्म्ड बाय ऑसबॉर्न रेनॉल्ड्स इज कॉल्ड एज रेनॉल्ड्स एक्सपेरिमेंट. Here you are seeing the term types of flow, that means with the help of this experiment we can explain about what is the type of flow, that is liquid is moving in the it is turbulent flow or it is laminar flow. So what is all in this experiment? He has taken a tube, glass tube in which a nozzle is there through which colored liquid is coming. Here a reservoir of water is there with which a system is there. Through this system the speed of water or velocity of water moving into this tube can be controlled or can be varied. In this chamber colored water is filled and this colored water is moving through this nozzle into this tube. So what he has done, he has started the water with the lowest velocity into this tube, water is flowing into this tube and at the same time colored water is also going into this tube through this inlet end and with this nozzle. So as the experiment continues, what he has found in this glass tube was connected to a reservoir of water in such a way that velocity of water is flowing through the tube, that could be varied. That means with this nozzle, with the help of this nozzle, the velocity of water can be changed. That means from low velocity it can be moved to a higher velocity, and with the help of this colored water reservoir and with the help of this nozzle through this inlet end, colored water is entered into this tube. What was found by रेनॉल्ड्स को क्या मिला इस एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के बाद? तो उन्होंने देखा कि जब वाटर की वेलोसिटी लो थी तब क्या हुआ कि थ्रेड ऑफ कलर मेंटेन्ड इटसेल्फ थ्रू द ट्यूब. दैट मीन्स व्हेन द वेलोसिटी ऑफ वाटर वाज लो, द लिक्विड और कलर्ड लिक्विड इज फ्लोइंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन इटसेल्फ, it is not mixing with the whole liquid in the tube. दूसरा जो ऑब्जर्वेशन उन्होंने रेनॉल्ड्स ने इस एक्सपेरिमेंट से पाया या निकाला कि जैसे ही यहाँ से पानी के जाने की वेलोसिटी हम इंक्रीज कर देते हैं, एज द वेलोसिटी वाज इंक्रीज्ड इट वाज फाउंड दैट एट डेफिनिट वेलोसिटी द थ्रेड डिसअपीयर्ड. क्या हुआ? जब हम इसकी वेलोसिटी इंक्रीज करते गए धीरे धीरे, लो वेलोसिटी से हाई वेलोसिटी की तरफ गए, एक सर्टेन वेलोसिटी आई जब ये जो थ्रेड था ये डिसअपीयर हो गया और पूर्ण पानी जो है, होल लिक्विड इन दिस ट्यूब इज कलर्ड. तो ये दो तरह के कंक्लूजन उन्होंने रेनॉल्ड्स ने इस एक्सपेरिमेंट से निकाले. तो पहला कंक्लूजन क्या था कि जब वेलोसिटी कम थी तो पैरेलल लाइन में कलर्ड लिक्विड जो है वो स्ट्रेट लाइन में फ्लो कर रही थी. सो व्हाट हैपनिंग व्हेन द फ्लूइड फ्लोड इन पैरेलल स्ट्रेट लाइन्स, द फ्लूइड मोशन इज नोन एज स्ट्रीम लाइन फ्लो और लैमिनार फ्लो. दैट मीन्स जब वेलोसिटी कम थी हम एक स्ट्रेट लाइन में कलर्ड लाइन देख रहे थे, ठीक, जो कि विथ पैरेलल टू द flow of water it was moving. So that is called as streamline flow, viscous flow or laminar flow. जब वेलोसिटी उसकी इंक्रीज कर देते हैं वाटर की, व्हेन द वेलोसिटी ऑफ वाटर इज इंक्रीज्ड, what happens? The fluid motion is erratic. That means, this type of motions takes place into the pipe, which leads to the coloration of whole liquid into the pipe. That means, जो पाइप के अंदर पूरी जो वाटर था या लिक्विड थी वो पूरा कलर्ड हो जाती है. तो इस तरह के मूवमेंट को कहते हैं या फ्लो को कहते हैं टर्बुलेंट फ्लो. दैट मीन्स व्हेन द वेलोसिटी ऑफ लिक्विड इज लो एंड colored liquid flows in a straight line, then we can say that it is a streamline flow, viscous flow or laminar flow. And if the whole tube is colored and the fluid motion is erratic, then we can say that the flow is turbulent. कौन सा flow? Turbulent. Now, there is a midpoint or in between this viscous flow and turbulent flow, a velocity is there. The velocity at which the flow changes from streamline or viscous flow to turbulent flow. That means, streamline और viscous flow से जब turbulent flow में change over होता है flow का और जो उसकी उस समय जो velocity होती है, that velocity is called as critical velocity. क्या कहते हैं इसको? Critical velocity. That means, the velocity which is when the flow of liquid changes from streamline to turbulent flow, that velocity is called as critical velocity. तो जब एक्सपेरिमेंट इन्होंने परफॉर्म किया, उसके बाद उस एक्सपेरिमेंट से एक नंबर निकाला. दैट नंबर इज कॉल्ड एज आर्बिट्री नंबर. दैट नंबर इज कॉल्ड एज रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर. क्या कहते हैं इसको? रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर. कहाँ से आया? रेनॉल्ड्स एक्सपेरिमेंट से आया. सो एक्सपेरिमेंट जब किया गया तो उससे क्या पता चला कि दैट क्रिटिकल वेलोसिटी थ्रू विच द लिक्विड इज फ्लोइंग डिपेंड्स अपॉन द internal diameter of tube, average velocity of fluid, density of fluid and viscosity of fluid. So, the critical velocity is directly proportional to internal diameter of tube, directly proportional to average velocity of fluid, directly proportional to density of fluid and inversely proportional to the viscosity of fluid. So, the equation is R E is equal to d u rho by eta. So, this is the Reynolds experiments equation. It is a dimensionless group. That means, इस equation की कोई यूनिट नहीं होती है, इसलिए इसको बोलते हैं dimensionless group. उसके बारे में अगली स्लाइड में हम देखेंगे. तो कंक्लूजन क्या निकला कि इफ़ द वैल्यू ऑफ रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर इज लेस देन 2000, अगर 2000 से कम है देन the flow is called as laminar flow. So, if the value of R is less than 2000, it is called as laminar flow. अगर इसी की वैल्यू 4000 से ज़्यादा है तो इसको बोलेंगे turbulent flow. क्या बोलेंगे? turbulent flow. So, if R is greater than 4000, then the flow is called as turbulent. If R lies between 2000 to 4000, then this is the critical velocity, that means change over time, that is from streamline or laminar flow to turbulent flow. ठीक है. अब जानते हैं कि रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर इज ए डायमेंशनलेस क्वांटिटी, जैसा कि पिछले केस में हमने स्लाइड में बताया था. तो रेनॉल्ड्स इक्वेशन क्या है? डी यू रो बाई ईटा. डी इज द डायमीटर ऑफ द ट्यूब, that is equal to L, it is measured in feet. U is the velocity, that is L by theta feet per second. Rho is the density of liquid, that is m by L cube, that is mass per unit volume. L b pound per feet cube, and eta is the viscosity of liquid, that is m by L theta, that is pound per feet second. So, this is the equation of Reynolds number. R is equal to d u rho by eta, that is equal to, put all the values into this equation. For d it is L, u L by theta, m by L cube. Similarly, for viscosity m by L theta. Finally, after rearranging the equations, it comes this m, mm is cancelled, theta, theta is cancelled, L1, L2, L3 is cancelled by L cube. So, that is equal to 1. That means, that is why it is called as a dimensionless quantity. This is the dimensional analysis of Reynolds number. Now, these are the applications of Reynolds number. It is used to predict the nature of flow. First application. Second application, Reynolds number is Reynolds number is applied to Stokes law equation to study the rate of sedimentation in suspension. किस चीज़ के लिए? सेडिमेंटेशन रेट मेज़र करने के लिए सस्पेंशन का भी स्टोक्स लॉ को मॉडिफाइड करके उसमें रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर इंक्लूड कर दिया गया, जिससे कि हम रेट ऑफ सेडिमेंटेशन ऑफ सस्पेंशन इजिली मेज़र कर सकें. इट इज़ ऑल्सो यूज्ड for the rate of heat transfer in liquids, for measurement of rate of heat transfer in liquids. It also depends on the flow, whether viscous or turbulent. So, with the help of Reynolds number, we can also determine the nature of flow, that is whether it is viscous, whether it is turbulent, and at what velocity it is moving, that is below 2000, above 4000, or in between 2000 and 4000, that is critical velocity. Next part of this lecture comes Bernoulli's theorem. Okay. What is Bernoulli's theorem? When the principle of conservation of energy is applied to flow of fluids, the resulting equation is called as Bernoulli's theorem. कौन सा principle? Flow principle of conservation of energy. That means, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transformed into one form to another form. So, let us consider a pump which is working under isothermal conditions between 2 points, that is point A and B. Later we will show it, it will be shown into the diagram. So, this is the horizontal plane, this is pipe, point A, point B. Here a pump is attached. This distance is called x A, this is called as x B. So, consider a pump working under isothermal conditions between points A and point B, between these 2 points. In steady state, the total energy per unit mass consists of pressure energy, kinetic energy and potential energy, and the whole thing is constant. So, the pump supplies the necessary energy to cause the flow. So, this is the equation of diagram of Bernoulli's theorem, which is used for the determination of fluid flow. So, this side, this is initial state, this is the final state of the equation. Okay. So, this is initial state and this is final state. At initial state, m is the mass of fluid that is entering into the system, and from here same mass of fluid is exiting out of the system, that is at the final state. The distance between this point is x A, and the distance between these points is x B. This is point number A, this is point number B. Kinetic energy can be determined as that is energy in energy applied to a body when it is in motion, that is u a square by 2 g. Potential energy, energy with respect to distance. So, potential energy is equal to x a, kinetic energy is equal to u square a by 2 g. Pressure energy similarly is equal to P a by rho a g. P a is pressure at point A, rho is density at point A of liquid, and g is the acceleration due to gravity. Similarly, at final state also kinetic energy will be u b square by 2 g, kinetic energy will be u b square by 2 g, potential energy will be equal to x b, and pressure energy will be equal to P b by. Okay. So, by applying the law of conservation of energy, total energy at point A will be equal to pressure energy, kinetic energy plus potential energy. Similarly, total energy at point B will be equal to pressure energy at point B plus kinetic energy at point B plus potential energy at point B. Now, first total energy at point A, that is equal to pressure energy is equal to P A by rho A g, kinetic energy is equal to u square A by 2 g, and potential energy is equal to x A, that is sum of all these energy is equal to constant. Similarly, total energy at point B will be equal to P b by rho b g, u b square by 2 g plus x b. X b is the potential energy, u b square by 2 g is kinetic energy, and pressure energy is P b by rho b g. Now, from this energy principle of law of conservation of energy, input is equal to output. That means, P a by rho a g plus u a square by 2 g plus x a, that is will be equal to P b by rho b g plus u b square by 2 g plus x b. That means, this is input, this is output. Theoretically, if we will find that all kinds of energies, there are different types of energies which is involved in fluid flow, that all the energies should be accounted into the equation. So, since pump has been used in fluid flow in the Bernoulli's theorem. So, pump is also applying certain amount of energy to the flow of fluid. So, pump has added certain amount of energy, that is equal to W. Similarly, the fluid is moving in the pipe. So, there is some frictional friction is also applied due to the movement of fluids in the pipe, that is the walls of the fluid, that is also called as boundary layer, that the layer of liquid which is attached to the walls that are at lowest velocity, and the mid of the liquid it is at highest velocity. So, there is a loss of energy due to friction in the pipeline, that is denoted as F. Finally, these two energies also inserted into the equation, that is previous equation. So, the equation changes to P a by rho a g plus u a square by 2 g plus x a minus f plus w, that will be equal to P b by rho b g plus u b square by 2 g plus x b. So, this is the final equation, that is called as Bernoulli's equation. This equation is called as Bernoulli's equation. In this equation, this negative sign, that is minus f, this negative sign indicates that energy is lost due to friction. So, this is all about Bernoulli's equation. Now, applications of Bernoulli's theorem. So, this theorem, it is used in the measurement of rate of fluid flow using flow meters. That means, principle of Bernoulli's theorem can be applied to the fluid flow for the measurement of rate of fluid flow by using flow meters, that is different types of flow meters are used, Venturi meter, pitot tube, orifice meter, all these are used for the measurement of rate of fluid flow. with the help of manometers also the pressure difference can be measured. So, it again applied in the working of centrifugal pump. In this kinetic energy is converted to pressure energy. Okay. So, in Bernoulli's theorem pump is used which is which is applying some energy for the movement of liquid flow from low pressure zone to high pressure zone. That is why this working of this centrifugal pump is necessary. In this kinetic energy is converted into pressure energy. Now, it is in this case it is easy to measure heights, that is height of flow at point A. From the Bernoulli's diagram you will find that at point A it is at lower height, point B is at higher position. So, the heights can be easily measured by considering a horizontal datum plane, arbitrary horizontal datum plane. With the help of this the heights can be measured, and this height is converted into a potential energy. So, with the help of these measurement of on this height, it can be applied to into energy terms. So, this is all about the application of Bernoulli's theorem, derivation of Bernoulli's equation. Now, comes the energy losses. So, energy losses means the energy which is lost during the flow of fluids in that is which we considered in Bernoulli's equation. So, according to law of conservation of energy, energy balance have to be properly calculated. That means, input should be properly calculated and should be equal to output. That means, same amount of energy that is which we are that is entering into the system, that will be similar type of fashion it will be exiting from the system. Okay. So, during the flow of fluids, this fluid experiences different types of energy losses. How? There are 4 types of energy losses. First one is frictional losses, losses in the fitting, enlargement losses, contraction losses. So, these are the 4 types of losses which occurs during the flow of fluids into a pipe or during its movement into a pipe or system. First one is frictional losses. Frictional losses it can be given by equation Fanning's equation. There are different types of frictional losses. Frictional losses it can be derived by using Fanning equation. What is that? Fanning equation. What is the equation? Fanning equation, delta P is equal to 2 F u square by L rho d. So, this equation is called as Fanning's equation. In this equation, P f is the pressure difference, that is frictional pressure difference. F is u square is the velocity, L is the length of pipe through which the fluid is flowing, F is the frictional forces, rho is the density of liquid, and d is the diameter of the pipe. So, as from the equation it is evident that P f is inversely proportional to diameter of pipe, it is directly proportional to density of liquid, directly proportional to the length of pipe, that is L, directly proportional to the velocity of fluid, that is through the velocity through which the liquid is flowing into the pipe. So, with the help of this equation, that is Fanning equation, frictional losses can be determined. Okay. Next is losses in fittings, that is change in direction or change in the type of fitting. So, change in direction, how it happens? Suppose that in pipe, if you are using bends or different types of joints are used in the pipe, that is called as T joints. This is called as bend, or we can say that couplings are used to join two pipes. So, if this type of fittings are used in the pipe or in the way of flow of fluids, this also leads to losses in leads to the energy loss due to this. Suppose it is moving in this direction, again it has to change the direction. So, it leads to energy losses. The third one is enlargement losses. Enlargement losses, what is it is? Suppose from a smaller diameter a liquid is moving to a larger area, larger pipe diameter, or these are two types. So, one is gradual increase in diameter and the another one is sudden increase in diameter. In gradual increase in diameter, there is in this case no energy loss is there, but in this case loss of energy takes place. Okay. So, this is called as enlargement losses, that means a gradual increase in the size of the pipe and sudden increase in side of pipe. Last one is contraction losses. Contraction losses, suppose that a pipe is there and this is inlet and this is outlet. If this thing happens, that means there is a sudden decrease in the diameter of the pipe. Second is this is outlet. Okay. So, in this case also there isn't any energy loss, but in this case, that is sudden decrease in the diameter of the pipe, it leads to contraction losses. So, these are the 4 types of energy losses which takes place during this movement of fluid into a pipe, that is frictional loss, losses in fittings, enlargement losses and contraction losses. This is all about Bernoulli's theorem and Reynolds number. Reynolds number is a dimensionless quantity. Bernoulli's theorem is the principle of law of conservation of energy is applied to flow of fluids, then it is called as Bernoulli's equation. Thank you.